Your DET exam is only 7 days away and you haven't started studying yet. But don't worry, in today's video, I'm giving you a full study guide so you can score 120 with only 1 week's preparation. So let's go. It's never a perfect idea to take an exam when you only have a week to prepare, but it can be done. So in today's video, I'll give you 2 things. I'll give you the full study plan for 1 week, and I'll give you links to all of the resources that you need so you don't have to go and search for them. And even if you have more than 1 week to prepare, which I hope you do, this video will still give you the structure and the organization you need to be as well prepared as possible for when you take the DET. Rise and shine, it's day 1, it's Monday morning, and it's time to start studying. So the first thing that you're going to do is to check your level. And this is important because it shows you how realistic your target score is, and it will tell you your weak areas, the areas that you need to focus on. And the best way to do this, to check your level, is to take a full DET test. And we actually have a video all about that. The link is just up here. That's the whole test with all of the different question types. Now, as we go through this video, I'm going to be pointing up here quite a lot because we've got lots of different resources. But don't worry, you don't have to click up there. You can find them all listed under the video as well. Now, once you've done your level test and you have a general idea of what score you're getting at the moment, it's time to focus on the structure of the DET. So this means knowing what every question type on the DET is going to ask you. And this is important for 2 reasons. First of all, it helps you to practice more efficiently if you know, the speaking sample is my most difficult question. You'll spend more time on that. And the second reason is that you don't want any surprises on test day. So it's really important to know those different question types. Now, if DET is totally new for you, let's quickly review the basics. So there are 4 sub-score areas. You have production, which is speaking and writing. You have conversation, which is speaking and listening. You have literacy, which is reading and writing. And you have comprehension, which is listening and reading. And also at the end, you'll get a score for your speaking, reading, writing, and listening separately. Now, every company or country, visa, job asks for a different score, but generally 120 would be enough. That's a very strong score. So that's what we're focusing on in today's video. And in the DET, there are 14 different question types, and each of them focus on different skills. Now, we don't have time to go into all of them in a lot of detail, but we do have a DET free guide, which has all of the details, examples, practice questions, and a lot more. And that's available just here under the video. So that's the end of day 1, Monday. We've checked our score and we've previewed all of the question types. And now we can rest until Tuesday, day 2. And now is when the studying really starts. Today we're focusing on writing. Now, lots of the questions ask you to write something down, but the most difficult 3 writing questions are write about the photo, interactive writing, and writing sample. And writing sample is probably the most important of those, because if you're applying to a university, the university can read the answer that you write in the real test, so they can see what your level really is. And for each of these question types, it's really important to practice. And let me give you 4 important things that you should be doing in your practice to make sure you get the best score possible. So firstly, you should use a simple logical structure to organize your answers. Use that again and again in your practice and then in the real test. Try to include complex linking words, things like nevertheless, moreover. Choose topic-specific vocabulary and also advanced vocabulary, not just your general daily English. And when you've finished writing, take a few seconds to proofread, read again your answer, try to notice any little mistakes. Now, I strongly recommend before you take the test that you practice each of those 3 difficult writing questions. And we've actually got some sample questions for you to try here on the screen. We've got a write about the photo question. We also have an interactive writing question. It's got the first part where you write for 5 minutes and the follow-up question where you write for 3 minutes. And we've got a writing sample question as well. So I'm just going to leave those on the screen for 10 seconds. If you want, you can pause the video, you can take a screenshot, you can go away and practice those questions, or you can continue watching with me. But here you go, 10 seconds to screenshot. So those are 3 questions that you can practice, and I would say that's the minimum. If you go into the test and you've never written about the photo, you're really going to have trouble. So make sure you do at least 1, but if you want to keep practicing, we have loads more questions for all of those different question types. We have our DET writing playlist. That's videos all about the different writing questions. The link to that is just here under the video. And in all of those videos, we give you high-level answers as well. Answers with 140 level or higher vocabulary and sentences. Time is flying now. We're already at Wednesday. Wednesday is our speaking preparation day. And again, there are 3 questions that are the most difficult for speaking. We have listen then speak, read then speak, and the speaking sample. And speaking sample, like writing sample, your university or your job can listen to what you say. Now for speaking, the absolute best thing would be to get a one-to-one teacher to take you through all of the different questions. That's quite expensive. What you can also do if you want to prepare by yourself is to look at speaking questions, get your phone out, record yourself answering, and then listen back yourself and think about these 5 points. Try to mark your own speaking. So think about content. Have you answered the question directly, or did you get distracted? Think about pronunciation. Did you go and mispronounce any words? And also think about intonation. Are you talking like this, or does your voice go up and down? Think about the speed that you're speaking. Is it very slow? Is it maybe too fast so it's hard to understand? Or is it just right in the middle? And finally, volume. Are you speaking loudly enough, or is it hard to hear you? So those are the things to remember when you're practicing your speaking. If you want to get loads of practice speaking questions, we have our DET speaking playlist. Again, the link is under the video. Or another option is you can check out our DET preparation course, which is designed to help you score 120 the first time you take the test. And in that course, we have loads of practice questions and sample speaking answers that are 140 level or higher. So those are very useful for helping you prepare for speaking. Day 4 is here. It's Thursday. It's listening and reading day. So my big tip for listening and reading is not just to do practice questions, but try to do some real life listening and reading. You can read the news in English on a free news website. Things like The Guardian would be very useful. Or you can listen to English podcasts for free on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you listen to podcasts. And my rule is always, if you can understand the news, or if you can listen to a podcast and understand it, the test will be no trouble. Now for listening and reading, the 2 most important questions to practice are interactive listening and interactive reading. Both of those have several smaller question types inside of them. Interactive reading, for example, has 5 small subtasks. And the difficult thing with interactive reading is the timing, because you have either 7 or 8 minutes to answer 6 questions, but you have to control your own time. So it's really important to practice that focused on that time. And again, if you want to practice those interactive listening and interactive reading, we've got videos for that. Check the link under the video here. We're moving quickly through now. It's Friday, and on Friday, we're focusing on accuracy and vocabulary. Now, of course, the better that you can get these two, the higher your score is going to be. And when we talk about accuracy, we're talking about two things. Your grammar, so are you making grammar mistakes or is your grammar all perfect? And spelling, because spelling is super important in the DET, particularly in questions like listen and type. Even if you hear a word correctly, if you type it wrong, you misspell it, you're going to lose points. And as for vocabulary, it's really important to show off your best English. And if you feel like your vocabulary is not good enough, the best idea is to set yourself a target for the week. Maybe for the week you can learn 30 or 40 new high-level words that you can try to put into your test when it comes. And the best types of words here are academic words, usually semi-formal or formal. And we actually have a great video about this. It's our 20 words to score 160. It's one of our most popular videos. The link is here, or of course, like everything else, it's under here. We're moving quickly to Saturday, and Saturday is strategy day. So strategy is all about how you take the test, how you complete the different questions. So we've got some questions that you can ask yourself to help you decide what is the best strategy, the best plan when you take the real test, and also to help you prepare as well as possible. So let's look at these 4 questions. First of all, is there any way for me to save time with certain tasks? For example, can I learn some specific vocabulary, or can I do things the same again and again? Question 2, can I learn a fixed structure that I use every time? This is really good for things like writing sample, how to organize your answer. Then, what will I do if I'm not sure about an answer? At what time do I guess, or how do I decide if something is right or not? And number 4, maybe the most important, when am I making mistakes and why am I making them? So when you're doing your practice, if you realize, the listen and type questions, I'm not concentrating well enough, you can focus on that, you can practice that. Or speaking sample, I can only speak for 1 minute, I need to speak for 3. You know what to do, you know where to practice. Now for some question types, you might not be sure what strategy you should have. So the good news is that in all of our introduction videos for the different question types, which are free and available here on YouTube, we give you those strategies. So make sure, again, I keep pointing down here, but check out any of the videos of the question types that you're not confident about, okay? And in those videos, we'll be able to show you step by step how to complete them in the best way. So it's been a hard week. I hope you're not feeling too tired though, because we have one more day. It's Sunday. It's our last day of study. But let me tell you what we're not going to do on Sunday. We're not going to try to start anything new, to learn anything new. Instead, Sunday is a day of review. And that's a big mistake that many people make. If they have their test on Monday, they stay up very late on Sunday night trying to learn new vocabulary. It's too late. If you've left it till Sunday night, it's too late. It's better to reinforce, to study again the things that you've been learning through the week. I also suggest on Sunday that you practice again and again, as much as you can, the more difficult question types. So things like writing sample, interactive writing, speaking sample. The more you can focus on those questions and get comfortable writing and speaking for a long time, the better your real DET performance is going to be. And my final tip for Sunday is don't do too much. Try not to overstress yourself. Try not to tire yourself out. Instead, do a good amount of study, but when it gets to the early evening, stop. relax, rest. Make sure you wind down, you calm yourself down, maybe do some meditation, some breathing exercises, and make sure as well that you go to bed early. You get a really good sleep, because that's the best way to make sure that you feel totally prepared for Monday and your real test. So there we go. That is your 7-day study plan to make sure you get 120 or higher. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe. Remember, down here under the video, we've got about 1 million different video links and playlists and other resources to help you prepare as much and as well as you possibly can. But of course, if you want all of this super organized and in one place, make sure to check out our full course. Our DET preparation course is designed to help you score 120 the first time you take the DET. The link, as with all of the others, is down here. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Good luck with everything. Any questions, let me know. And I'll see you next time.